I wanted to hit everybody with this one. Again, looking back 20 years on the hybrid theory, and we can start with Dave. I like picking on you. We're going to start with you, Dave. You're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
What are you most proud of? Looking back, is there one thing when you listen to these records or with this record and you hear these stories, what kind of fills you with that sense of pride? Like, we did this.
I'm glad you started with me. I got to stall and formulate my thoughts on that. That's a great question.
I was going to start with Joe, but we all know how that goes.
That would give us all time to, as it robot sputters and spatters, gives us some time to think. Looking back, on Hybrid Theory in particular, I would definitely say that album from front to back for me today, 20 years later, it still holds up, and it's a great listen, and that's crazy. That's what you'd always want in releasing a record, is to be able to come back. Usually I would think that I'm hoping to be able to come back a year later and still be proud of the decisions that were made and still be excited about the record. But with the opportunity with something like that 20 years later to still be able to revisit it and say there might be a couple things I think all of us would tweak or change here or there, but as an album and as a whole, not much, and that's a really cool thing. But where I thought less so of the album and more so maybe the bigger picture, I'm proud for us as a set of guys that 20 years later, I can sit here and still, granted we can't do it in person today, but I can still sit and hang out with these guys and love the time that we get to spend together. Mm-hmm. And I think that was always a goal too from the beginning. We were intentional about friendships, intentional about respecting each other, about working hard, and also just enjoying the process. Being in a band is awesome and great. It's the best job in the world if you can get it, but you gotta survive the ups and downs, and obviously go through a lot of hardships and heartache. And I think I'm proud of the fact that this group of guys is still, got each other's backs, still loves each other, looks out for one another, and is on the same page in that regard.
That's why I asked you first, Dave.
Man, did I come through?
Right there.
Yes.
Brad, how about you?
Follow that, Brad, even with your clappy hands.
Okay, there's only really one way to follow that, and that's to pass it off to Joe.
Johan, what makes you most proud then? Hybrid Theory, 20 years later.
I think, it's I'm proud of the integrity that has been maintained throughout the years. And looking back, I think, lightning strikes sometimes in a great way, and to have all of us bring something individually amazing to the table is pretty awesome. But also in the way we value each other and the work ethic and how that extends into the way we treat people, and continuing to make good decisions along the way. I think we've been able to take what we love with music and make great music and form a community around it. And I think that integrity has extended with the fan base, how what we get in return for it. So having that part of the foundation makes it easy and makes you want to keep doing it.
Sure. Mike?
Yeah.
Hi. No, what makes you most proud about Hybrid Theory, Mike?
I mean, these guys, I was saying before we did, before this, this month, I guess, of, really talking about it and everything. It's such a wonderful, excuse to celebrate this moment in time. Nobody gets to have this kind of a rocket ship ride, and so to have done it and meaning not to have done it like it's our it's solely on us. I mean, meaning to have experienced the things we experienced and had the opportunities we've had. It's really, there's so little in the world like it, and before this whole thing, like thinking back to like where we were at, like sitting in apartments around LA. Like I was sharing an apartment. I think I was paying like $450 a month was my chunk of rent.
Mm-hmm.
And like our carpets were dirty and we had like roach problems. I was eating ramen, like top ramen, like 3 or 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
So just to know that context, like when you're making a song or making a thing in that environment, there isn't even a part of you that's thinking that all of your friends are going to like it, much less some bigger audience than that. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's just an enormous sense of gratitude that I feel, and I know all the guys feel, about being able to be a part of that. And, also, like I think we've said, very, very proud of our team and very proud of the fans and happy that they're all able to like share in this like celebration.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.